Hey guys, welcome back to the Nubian Prince, and today I want to touch on the topic of mental health. This theme for this one around is kindness, and I do believe that kindness is a virtue that we all should put into practice. It's not something that we just share or it's a show in this week in towards mental health because let's be honest, even though statistics wise they're saying that 50% of people have diagnosed with mental health disorders and stuff like that. But to me personally, I think it's more than that because a lot of people who think they may not be, have some kind of mental disorder. I mean, they do have it without any diagnostic. So even, for example, now we're in quarantine with the pandemic with COVID-19 here. That itself could add a high volume back to those who naturally suffers from mental health. And like I said, I mean, it's going to change a lot of things economically, relationship-wise, work-wise, and all the policies that govern each countries around the world that are going to be changed, new laws going to be put in place. So all of this is going to add back to a lot of stress on people who suffer severely already with mental health. So like I said, the theme is, I think, is quite timely, which is kindness. So in practice, we should probably try to maybe practice that, not just for this week, but if we can put it into practice in our life, I mean, that would be good because like I said, 50% in terms of statistics, that says that people are diagnosed with any kind of mild symptom of mental health. So what about those which may not even diagnose or tested for that as well? So we do know that people out there which are troubled severely with mental health disorders. And I make a little quick notes on my phone here. After the most common mental health disorders, which are symptoms which we do aware of. So I put down 10 of them, which obviously is the most obvious ones. So number one to me is autism spectrum disorder, which is the ASD. And then obviously we have schizophrenia. Then we have bipolar disorder for people who, aware of that. And also OCD, which is the obsessive compulsive disorder, which I fall into. And anxiety disorders. Phobia is one of them as well, which is like social anxiety disorder. And then I put down as well substance use disorder. And then obviously you have the eating disorders as well, and also personality disorders and mood disorders. And yeah, so that's just the common 10. But between these 10, there are different ones which may go undetected or go unnoticed. And people sometimes, like I said, may not link these to be mental health issues. And the part which I want to touch on more on in terms of the mental health is for men. For women tend to have a kind of network where they're not ashamed or afraid to say to their girlfriends or say to a sister or cousin, their mother, how they feel about, like I said, certain things, whether it be the 10 which I enlist just now or things which I may not list to this list, what they're going through. For men, we are more reserved into how we feel. We're more shut down. It's just like, and I think it has to do with pretty much maybe culture. Culture have a massive role to play in terms of how men express ourselves. Obviously, I'm Caribbean, so it's difficult for most of us men to, when we was a child or a younger version of ourselves, able to express certain things. So we have to kind of bottle that up inside of ourselves, and sometimes it find unpleasant ways how to come back out when we become, like, obviously an adult. And that could come through our behavior. Sometimes that could come through more aggressive behavior. And maybe sometimes you may not, like I said, want to be aggressive, or the whole persona of certain things was not meant to be in an aggressive way, but this is how you deal with it. So we realize that men, we need to have maybe like a little committee that we can sit and discuss and, like I said, share our own stories. And likewise, men can be able to realize that, what, I'm not suffering alone. I'm not alone in this thing. For those who need like more professional help, like I said, I mean, we're going to have to go to maybe those places, the therapists and stuff like that. But those who may have the milder one sometimes that you can deal with their handler, you're going to have to trust someone to talk to. So, yeah, I mean, have a brother, have a best friend, maybe a work colleague which you trust or confide into, and share your own story. And that way, like I said, you can alleviate most of this depression or stress that may be in your head or in your mind state, and that help to make you feel much better and give you maybe a different perspective and things. Because sometimes when you share your story or you share whatever is bothering you sometimes to someone, it can give you a new perspective, and you're like, okay, I never realized I could look at it like this. You know what I mean? But the fact that you open up, I mean, you give yourself opportunity to be heard. One, you give yourself opportunity to be understood, and also you give yourself opportunity to get maybe solution or better perspective. So for men, like I said, I mean, we're gonna have to do more where we can help ourselves to, you know what I mean, get from the place where it's not just we just focus on work and family and like I said, sports or whatever that we get into, but also to deal with our own mental state, because our mental is quite important, is quite essential. So the more we function in a balanced way for society and also for ourselves and our family members, is the more we can be more productive, both physically, mentally, emotionally, and also psychologically. So I just want to add these words for this mental health week. Like I said, the theme for this one is called kindness. So if we can be kind to ourselves first, and we can practice that out there, but you don't want to practice it in the public first. When you're unkind to yourself, you want to start to make sure that you practice what you preach to yourself, and then obviously you can transmit that to the wider world. So these are just my few words on mental health today. Find someone that you can confide into. Just like women have their different groups and stuff like that where they can able to share and express themselves, we also gonna have to find our own common ground with our own self and the battles that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. We're gonna have to find ways how to deal with that. So we can start by a family member, work colleague, or wherever we go gymming and stuff like that. We can find somebody which we can talk to, build that relationship and able to express, and you know, you can be heard. So like I said, don't stay in a situation and die in a situation. There is help and also there's solutions. So all the best to you guys out there who are fighting it and who are overcoming it. Peace to you for those who, like I said, don't know where to start. Just start from somewhere. Just trust someone to able to open up to someone, and like I said, like you can take it from there. So these are just my few words. Thank you very much for listening, and keep tuning to the Nubian Prince, and you'll have yourself a fantastic evening. Peace.